Hi traders, it's Wednesday morning. We're a couple hours into the New York trading session. I am back from my break. I have not traded yet. I'm going through some charts and I'm seeing actually several things that look good to me. But one thing I wanted to show you was this dollar CAD. I have the daily chart up to the right and I have the 4 hour to the inset. Um, on the daily chart you can see we have some topping and we have a trend channel. So I'm interested in trading this short down to, I actually use the cloud quite a bit, and so I'm seeing the cloud perimeter here around 107.90. So I'd like to trade this down to 108 area. Here's our 4 hour chart. This is a chart that's very important to me as a day trader. And we have the immediate 4 hour momentum to the short. I don't like to trade against 4 hour momentum. Here's our hourly chart, and you can see that the stochastic is in a very sharply angled down position. The 30-minute chart is the chart that I tend to use as a signal chart, and you can see that we have this wide range candle. Price made a nice move down, spiked up to the 109.28 area, and then made a very rapid decline. So I'm hoping to be able to enter somewhere between the area price currently is around 108.90 and the figure. We have a 6 minute first cross coming up, and I'm going to be watching for a band touch. I am waiting for a band touch. It is stalling around this level, so I'm paying pretty close attention to this, and I want to show you one other trade I'm in that's moving. This is the 4 hour of the pound dollar, and I'm in this trade at 164.68, and prices come down around the 50 level. It's bouncing a little bit. I have a target of the figure 64, and I entered this with a 7 pip stop. Back to the CAD. Here's a 15-minute. I did not get a band touch on the 6 minute. Let's look at the 5 minute. I'm watching this range that price is trading in. If there's a breakout of this range, then I'll go ahead and I'll enter on retest of the range. We do have a 5 minute in play. I like that 6 minute better, so I'm going to keep an eye on it. Here's a quick run through on the pound dollar while I'm waiting for this dollar CAD to do something one way or the other. Here's our weekly chart broken to the short. Here's our daily chart, yesterday's candle broken to the short. Here's our 4 hour chart with price consolidating and hopefully breaking lower. On the hourly chart, we have a stochastic that's going up, so we're fighting against the hourly momentum to go short. Here's our 30-minute chart, which is my go-to signal chart for most of the trades that I enter. I like to pair the 30 up with a number of different high time frame charts, the 2 hour and up. And if I have multiple time frames supporting a particular directional bias, then when the 30 minutes in that bias, I tend to trade. This was the level that I was looking for an entry. I got it, and who knows what will happen here. It could possibly come all the way back to that entry level again. Here we are in the 6 minute chart, and that was my entry at 164.68. Moved down to almost 164.40. I have a target of the figure, so I have not scaled this yet. Hopefully price will not go much higher than the 164.60 level and then revert back into trend. Once I'm in a trade, I always have a zone I'm watching for potential close of my trade at as much profit or as close to break even as possible. And on this trade, that is this red box. I'm watching what happens as it gets around 164.56 to the 164.62 level. My entry was at 164.68, 7 pip stop. On the dollar CAD, we have broken to the short. I will enter on the retest of this particular line, which is at 108.85. I'm watching for a 2 minute slingshot. Price is reacting at the box I've drawn. We may not go higher, but I'm hoping to get in a little bit higher around 108.86. I'm in at 108.84 with a 7 pip stop. I never know exactly where price is going to turn. Nobody does. But we know where there are probabilities of price reacting. And I drew this because I thought it may be contained here, could go as high as here, that I would be interested in it. If it had gone above this, I would not have been interested in shorting it. And once price came deep into this candle, then I had the reaction that told me the probability was that price was going to go ahead and turn here. So I went ahead and entered, and we'll see what happens from here. If it were to get above 108.88, I would be looking to get out as close to break even as possible. Here's how we look on the 15-minute. Here's how we look on the hourly. We're coming down to challenge the prior lows. Let me zoom out a little. Okay, we've got price starting to drag down below this trend line and below this prior close on the 5-minute. So I'm hoping that this will accelerate some of the movement to the short. And we are starting to make lower lows. If you would like to learn momentum, if you would like to trade in the style of all the great traders of the world, which are trend traders, and a smaller subset of those who understand and exploit momentum, you have an opportunity to work with one of the two people that I know who has provided training in this and who is willing to do it now, and that's Darren. Darren is Calvin's first student. He's been my trading partner for a number of years. I have enormous respect for him as a person of integrity, skill, and kindness, as well as someone who is a good trainer. Um, there aren't many opportunities to work with somebody that understands momentum. I know there's people out there that tell you that they have momentum strategies, that they trade momentum, but when I look at what they show you, I know they don't. There's very specific telltales for momentum. There's very specific criteria for what price is showing us to prove that it's momentum, and there's very specific criteria for entering into a momentum trade. Calvin Thornley taught Darren and I how to be risk managers. Darren can teach you that, and he can teach you the unique way that he teaches momentum, which is using the hourly chart. If you're interested in taking advantage of being able to work directly with Darren, and of course, you do still have some input from Calvin. Calvin continues to be involved with the group through emails and occasional appearances on the webinars. I occasionally come in on the webinars as well. And if you want to have an opportunity to join this group and to learn momentum, please drop me a line, an email at the address that's on my YouTube, which is gtrader444@yahoo.com. We are within a few pips of yesterday's low. If we can break that, then that would pave the way for another wave down. I don't know if that'll happen. It's late in the day. It's a London close, and it just depends on whether the traders close out to the short or not. Okay, I just closed out the pound for 21 pips for a 1 to 3 return. It's time for me to close out this trade as well, so I closed it out for 15 pips, and that gives me a 1 to 2.